Hey, everybody. So I've kind of gotten into this whole interview thing. So guess what? We're doing another one today. This one's a big surprise. It was actually a surprise to me whenever it was first brought up. And I'm really thrilled about it. And, most of you know him. I'm not going to introduce him. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So here he is.
Hi.
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 How's it going?
I'm VideoCreep. I do
You're
the videos.
VideoCreep.
That's me. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, you're one of my Patreons.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
So
Thank you
what
so
kind
much.
of videos do you do for those that don't know?
Well, I talk about horror and mainly I talk about like horror movies and stuff. Every now and again I'll go against the grain and like I'll do something like Clueless or fucking Bill and Ted and shit because like it's my channel and I want to talk about those things sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, I'm ashamed to say I still haven't watched the Bill and Ted one.
Well, have you seen the actual movie?
Nope. That's why I haven't watched it.
Yeah, dude, that'll do it. You should do it. It was actually like my favorite movie of last year.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, favorite non-horror anyway. Like fucking yeah, it was that movie. It gives me all the feels. You know, how, like every time that you watch a Bill and Ted movie, they always have like these grandiose endings where like they're fucking like playing guitar and it just feels fucking good on the inside. I was like, they're not going to be able to recapture that a third time. They totally did. Whenever I need a little fucking like serotonin boost, I'll go on YouTube and I'll like fucking type it up and like I'll just watch the ending of part 3 and it just fucking makes me feel good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it now. All
right, get in there. Get in there.
Okay. All right. So obviously I gotta ask you about this because it's what I do. Tell me about your book.
My book. I have a book called Pentagram. Yeah, it's just a book of like fucking short comics and stuff that are kind of quirky and weird. And like it's comedy / poetry / just like depression shit. But it's funny.
It is. I mean, I've read it. Obviously, I reviewed it, but
right.
It seems deeper than that. What's some of the stuff behind it? Because there's like some anguish in there, dude.
Well, I fucking for everything that like I am on the channel where I'm really loud and boisterous and fucking in my personal life, I suffer from depression and anxiety and shit, and like it's something that I've dealt with for years. So like that definitely translated into the book. And all those things, like I've been writing Pentagram since like high school, not like specifically what you see in the book, though those are some. I just do those comics. I have books and books of just that. So I decided to just go through all of them and choose a bunch of my favorite. And then that's how I made Pentagram and shit. But I've been doing it forever. And like, so it's my feelings throughout times and shit. So like when I talk about like, there's a one in there that's talking about like, I just want to stalk you. Like there's one in there and talking about that. And really that's just because like there was a super cute girl that worked at my Walgreens and I just had a huge crush on her. And every time that I spoke to her, I couldn't nail the interaction and shit, So I was kind of like a low-key stalker for her and shit,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So when you're not doing VideoCreep, what do you do?
Oh man, I play a lot of video games. I play a fuck ton of video games. That's kind of my thing. My other big hobby that I haven't been able to do in like a year because of quarantine and everything is I'm a big pool player. Like I love shooting pool. I have my own cue. I have my own glove. I'm even like contemplating making my own pool table because it's been so long since I've played, and I feel like if I go to Home Depot, I could probably get that done. But yeah, those are squarely my passions and shit.
Okay, so anybody who follows you on Instagram is going to know this. You have a very deep, meaningful relationship with Taco. So
yeah.
So tell me about Taco.
Taco's my dog. I love her very much. You could say Taco is my longest relationship. It's true. We've been together for 11 years now. And when you're together that long, things come up. She's cheated on me. I found pictures of other dogs on her phone. We've dealt with.
Taco has a phone?
Yeah, she has her own little phone that she goes on like hot dog Reddit and shit, and like, you know, she
Okay.
looked up. Yeah, she's really into boxers for some reason. Whatever.
Mm.
I don't know why. I'm not enough, but like, we're not gonna get into that.
But that's part of the relationship. You know, you got
Yeah.
to work these things out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we went through, as you probably saw on Instagram, we went through a small abusive bout where you know, she was monitoring my phone and you know, kind of just breaking me down a little bit, but we've talked about it, and like, she's not gonna be that way anymore. So like, we're good. We're good now.
Are you sure?
I don't know, but like, you know, you have to believe. You know, you don't just flush away 11 years.
This is true. Yes, you can't do that.
You know, relationships are work. So
Yes, they are. Yes. Y'all seem to have a very, very good relationship. So I'm sure you'll make it through.
yeah, like, you guys see the bad times. You guys don't see the good times. There's lots of good times, you know?
Are you sure? You're not in denial, right? I mean,
No,
it's
no,
not
like,
one of those
no,
good times outweigh, you know, and kind of just pushing them aside.
no, she's a good dog. She's a good dog.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so all right, what all in all made you start VideoCreep? I mean, what made you decide, hey, I want to do videos, I want to do reviews? Where'd you start out?
So I started on another channel. Like, I fucking I'm a stand-up comedian when the world allows me to be so. And I started a channel because I thought that it'd be really cool if like me and my other comedian friends got together and started to do skits. So I started a channel called Meowcat TV, where all of my comedian friends who wanted to write a skit, they can film it, and then we'd put it on Meowcat, and it'd be a community of like comedians, kind of the same thing that like I'm doing with Coffin Grounds and shit. Like, fucking just get all the content creators together. We'll work on something really cool, and then like, you know, we can share that with people, and then we all kind of, you know, get to put our stuff out together. The problem with Meowcat was that I was the most motivated person about the idea. So none of my friends ever came up with skits to do anything. Like, everything that you see on Meowcat was my idea. It was all my skits. So I just had this channel that, you know, fucking, it was just my channel. Even though I did have like my comedian friends come on, like everyone who's not me that you see on Meowcat is a comedian who I'm cool with here in like the Bay Area and shit. But yeah, it just felt like, all right, if I'm gonna put in all this work for my own channel, I kind of want to do exactly whatever the fuck I want to do. And when that boiled down to what I want to do, I was like, I know I want to do comedy because I just like making jokes and fucking being silly and shit. But I also love horror, and I also love conspiracy theories. So I was like, all right, fucking, either I'll make a channel about conspiracy theories and like I'll make them funny, or I'll do a channel about horror and I'll make that funny. And then I was like, well, fucking, if I do conspiracy theories, that's like a lot of fucking work. And I didn't want to fucking do all that research. And then like fucking people get so pissed at you when you get like, you know, a minor detail wrong. It's the same thing with VideoCreep. If I'm like, yeah, you know, she went down by the seashore, they'll be like, oh, she went to the fucking beach. Like, you know, people love to fucking point out when you're wrong and shit. So I was like, all right, I can probably be more right with horror movies than I can with fucking conspiracy theories. So I just started doing fucking VideoCreep.
When did you have another channel that you're on, not often, but Aimless Death Discussion, right?
Yeah. That's me and Brad's little passion project. We used to call it a podcast, but now it's just kind of a show. We just sit behind a table and talk about whatever the fuck we want. Like, what would happen if fucking Dracula and the Terminator got into an orgy? Who would the other people in the orgy be with them and shit? Like, that's the kind of stuff that we talk about on Aimless.
See, that's another thing I still haven't watched. I know I'm horrible.
No, you're good. I mean, watch it, but like,
I will.
You know.
I will watch it. Okay.
You don't actually have to watch it. Like, you can literally listen to it in the background.
Hey, that'll work. I could do that. I can do. All right. So now I have a very, very serious question for you, and I want you to really think about this, okay? Because it's important.
I got my thinking cap on.
Yes, you have to. All right. We're going to settle something.
Okay.
Soda, pop, or Coke?
Neither. It's soda.
What do you mean neither?
It's
No.
soda.
It's either soda, pop, or Coke. No.
You just said it yourself. It's either soda, pop, or Coke. It's soda.
It's not soda, though.
It's all
How
soda.
am I going to get you to come to my side?
Never. Your side is wrong. You're wrong. You're like fucking, you're like, listen, over here, we like to burn our hands on stoves. When will you come over here? Never. We're going to fucking go over there. Coke is Coca-Cola. Soda pop is some fucking hick shit. And then fucking soda is a blanket statement for all fizzle drink.
No, it's still Coke. You just gotta specify, dude.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
We can always go with Burton's theory and make it soda.
Oh,
pop.
don't that guy. I love Burton. Burton's fucking
he's pretty great. He is
such a cool dude.
You know, because of you, I'm not gonna lie, I have met so many amazing people through Coffin Grounds and everything. I mean, seriously, that was the best thing you ever did.
That's not because of me, man. That's because of you. People like you. You got a lot of energy, a lot of fucking charisma. People like that shit.
What made you decide to start Coffin Grounds anyways? Because we met on another horror social
media. Yeah, we met on Slasher.
Yeah.
Coffin Grounds. So Brad he created another fucking, all right, fucking, you want the dish? You want that tea? I'll give you the fucking tea. So there's another horror group called Killer Flicks. And me and Brad met in Killer Flicks years ago. And we were just online friends for a really long time. And then what happened was some like drama went down. And it's Brad's story, so I won't tell it. But like some drama went down where like Brad had to leave Coffin Grounds. So when he left, it was like a big thing. And like a bunch of people left with Brad.
You mean Killer Flicks?
Yeah. They all left Killer Flicks. So Brad was like, all right, I'm going to start a new horror group called Horror Weird Video Nasties. And so I joined that with them. And then like over time, because it was made out of like this weird revenge against Killer Flicks thing, the numbers kind of like dwindled after a while. So he just had this group that he wasn't completely content with. So now cut forward a couple years, I moved to LA, so I'm not far off from Brad. So we decided to start hanging out. And that's when we started doing Aimless and when we started like really getting tight. And we got the idea to like start a group where people can come and we can just kind of talk about horror and fucking get to know people a little bit closer and get one that's active, because Horror Weird had kind of started to not do that great. And then fuck Killer Flicks, so we just wanted to fucking make a group that was really cool, really inclusive, like really like fun for people. So that's how fucking Coffin Grounds came about.
It's great. I mean, the people there, so far, I haven't met anybody that's not worth talking to.
Oh, well, we kick people out.
Fair point. Okay.
Yeah, anyone who's not like amicable, we kind of nip that in the bud. And we've only had like, I'd say maybe 3 people that we've had to like legitimately be like, all right, this person is a problem, or this person's getting a little bit too fresh with like the prettier people in our fucking group, or like, Yeah. But it doesn't happen too often. Like it is a cool community of like a lot of cool fucking people. So
I was gonna say, I haven't noticed lately, I should say. I mean, I've seen stuff at the very, very beginning, of course, but like now it's literally nothing offensive or anything. I mean, it's just what it's supposed to be. It's great.
Yeah. The worst offense that we get every now and again is people not posting about horror, which is, we allow that, but we allow it on Mondays. Like Mondays is our media free, post whatever you want thing. And every now and again, we'll see somebody post something where it's kind of like, what do you guys think about the new, air fryer? It's like, who gives a fuck? Why are you talking about air fryers, man?
Do you ban those people, or is it just strictly, hey?
No, we'll like delete the post and like we'll let them know too. Like, hey, so if you want to talk about this Monday, we guess. Like we try and keep it to media, like other shows and like TV and shit. But every now and again, like fucking, we will like a post that's not horror that we will let like slip through the cracks just because it doesn't happen that often and like, you know, people need it. Every now and again, someone will post like, hey, I'm having a really hard time. And, you know, I just kind of want to talk to somebody. Is anyone on? Da da da. And even though those aren't like horror centric, we will let those stay there just because it's important to us to have a community. And, you know, part of that community is caring for one another and shit. So we'll let that kind of shit rock.
Well, yeah, that's what builds your community. You know, that's why I stopped messing around with the other one as much, because it was literally everybody was posting whatever they wanted. It was like a basic, regular Facebook for people. I don't know. It wasn't horror anymore. You know, it's still not.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but it happens.
It does. Okay, so we're gonna get to some actual horror questions now. So, what scene from any horror movie over your entire lifetime has absolutely scarred you for life?
Scarred me for life. So I normally, if it was like what movie like scared me, I would have to say Child's Play 2 because that really had an effect on me as a kid. But I grew up to be a massive Chucky fan, so I feel like I couldn't have been scarred like in a negative way by that. So I will say a movie that did fuck me up, and to this day, like I still have it like in me and shit. Which isn't even traditionally a horror movie, but it fucked me up. Do you know the movie Signs with Mel Gibson?
I do. Yeah.
Do you know the fucking scene where they're outside of the barn and they look up on the roof and they just see like an alien standing there and it scatters away and shit? Yeah. I catch me walking in the middle of the night and I look at roofs now, like to see like what the fuck is up there. It's like, it scarred me for life. Fucking Signs.
Okay, you should come out here and like look to the top of our barn because we have an actual barn.
Crazy. That's so amazing. So amazing.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Well, you liked the movie though, right?
As an adult, yeah. Like when I was a kid, I remember when the movie actually ended, like I just bawled. Like I just I just cried and cried and cried. And I thought it was so terrifying. I was so scared by the movie Signs.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that movie. I figured it'd be like something totally different.
No, it's a weird one, but yeah, like horror movies never like fucking like really super fucking scared me. There was a short period in time where I was like scared of like Chucky and shit, but like I also was young. When it comes to Signs, we're talking about like astrophysiological shit. Like I was way too young to start thinking in that like depth of things, you know? So it was just like fucking like system overload, like way too much knowledge I got from that movie. That fucked me up. Yeah.
All right. So what is a movie that you have never seen, but you know everything about because of popular culture, but yet you still won't see it?
That's a thinker. There's so many movies that I haven't seen that like, God, I know it. What are some popular movies? Fuck, this is a hard question. This is one of those on the spot questions where it's like fucking pressure cooker. I don't know. Oh, okay. Fucking that it's another Mel Gibson movie. It's fucking Last of the Mohicans. I've known it's just so drenched in fucking pop culture and shit that it's like I don't have to see that. I get it. Let me guess. There was a war. Let me guess. People fucking die. There's war paint. Is there a horse or two in there? Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Kind of reminds me of that Braveheart.
Right. In fact, I meant Braveheart. To be fair, I haven't seen Last of the Mohicans either, so.
I haven't either, and I was sitting here thinking, I don't know what that one, but, you know, I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it, so, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I have seen Braveheart, though.
Movies like that, they just don't get my pussy wet. Like, I just don't fucking have any inclination to, like, put myself out like, oh fuck, it's Tuesday, better watch Braveheart, fucking time's tacking. Like it's not like that.
All right, so off of this, I want you right now to plan your own spectacular funeral.
My own spectacular funeral. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. What's the budget?
No budget.
No budget.
Whatever you want.
Just go fucking nuts.
Whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
All right. So it's like a fucking Halloween party. Like fucking everybody who comes to my funeral has to like dress up as something. I don't care what it is. You could be Woody from fucking Toy Story, or you could be fucking like Stu from fucking Scream. I don't care what the fuck you are. You just have to dress up.
Okay.
Everyone comes in, and then a projector in the back fucking beams me to the front where like I interrupt the priest, and I'm just like, all right, bozo, get the fuck out of here. I got this. And then I'll fucking, as I'm standing there, like projected and shit, fucking the doors will close with like metal. It'll like slam down, shink, shink, shink. Everyone's fucking stuck in there. Everyone's like, they're all scared and like running around and shit. And I'll be like, all right, one by one, I want you guys to get up here and tell me exactly what you think. And then I'll stand there like a fucking parole officer with my arms crossed and shit. And then they'll each tell a story about me and shit. And then at the end of it, I'll be like, all right, it sounds a lot like, you guys, sounds a lot like you guys really like me and like you miss me and shit. I guess I should just come back to life. And then fucking Michael Jackson's Thriller is gonna play. It's gonna be like, da, da. And then fucking with a pulley system with other people in the back, they're gonna hoist me out of the casket, and I'm gonna do the full Thriller dance. And then I'll be creepy. Like, nah, I'm just kidding, I'm dead. And then like the funeral will end.
That's kind of creepy. The whole like, yeah, no. Sorry to break it to you, but I don't think I'm coming to your funeral.
Listen, that's what's going down.
Okay. All right. So you wake up one morning and it's suddenly 13 years in the past.
Okay.
You have all the knowledge that you have today. What is the one thing that you would absolutely have to do?
13 years ago, I was 18 years old. Okay, what was going on in my life when I was 18? I had my first son. And if I have the knowledge that I know now, God, I wouldn't hold him a certain way.
What'd you do to your son? Now I'm curious.
I don't know. Like, I just used to like fucking like their kid. My kids are fine, but I used to like fucking hold them straight out in front of me and like do the look who's talking dance with them and shit, which like was always okay. But sometimes I would get excited. I was really into the Darkness. I still am. But like I remember the Darkness dropped an album around the time I had my first son, and I used to play air guitar on the baby all the time. And like I would hold his head to make sure that it was always okay. But there was more movement than I probably should have put out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of the first things that I would do. Also, I mean, like fucking, I'd be a much richer man now by investing in things like YouTube and fucking, like I would have started my channel way, way earlier. I fucking, there's all that stuff. Invest in TikTok and shit,
Yeah, but I like the whole baby thing. I like that better.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a very real thing. My son's mother wasn't a fan of it, but I'd be like, playing the baby. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of music, so we all know that you've got like, you listen to all sorts of like everything. Yeah. I mean, at least you do on your lives. So.
Yeah. No, I love almost everything.
But what is your like, other than this Darkness, I'm assuming that may be it, but what is like your one and only go-to, like your main go-to music?
Like genre?
No, not necessarily like genre. I want like a specific.
Well, I'm a really hard, like I love like classic rock, but I love newer bands with a classic rock feel, like the Darkness. They definitely have that fucking, like, it feels very like Aerosmithy when you listen to them and shit. But I also love bands like fucking Sheer Mag. Bayside is one of my favorite bands of all time. Thin Lizzy is another like huge band that I fucking love. I'm a huge Blink-182 fan, which isn't so much in that realm of things, but like I have a tattoo right here it was my first tattoo. I got it when I was like 16. Like
Wow.
yeah.
Okay,
I
see, out of
definitely
all of that, Blink-182 is the only one I know.
I could send you some jams. I could send you some jams.
Okay, I'm good with that. All right. So CDs or vinyls? Do you do the whole vinyl thing?
Yes. I did for a long time. So I worked at Amoeba Records, like Amoeba Music and shit. I don't know if they have them out there. I don't think they do. There's only
No,
three.
but I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I worked there for 3 years. So vinyl was a big part of my life for a really long time. And then my ex-girlfriend, which that was a whole fucking thing. I'm actually thinking about like doing a podcast for it, like a VideoCreep podcast about it. But I'm not going to get into it on this. She bought me a record player because I had all these records, but I didn't have anything to play them on because I was working at the store. So I just got them all the time. So she got me a record player and I loved it so much. And then after we broke up, it like developed into like a point of contention where it was kind of like, I still have this thing. I got to get rid of it. And it sucks when it's something like that because it's like,
Yeah.
that, you know, that's a record, like that's expensive.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting rid of it. And like, once I got rid of it, I also like sold all my records and stuff. And then I ultimately ended up selling all my CDs too. Now I just stream music all the fucking time.
So you're all digital.
I'm all digital now, but like I went through years of just collecting vinyl and collecting CDs.
Cool.
I think they provide a really cool aesthetic. Like that's the one thing that I miss about them is just having like a wall of records. Like it's just cool to see and have.
Well, it's retro. I mean, all this old stuff is coming back. Same with VHSs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are coming back. But man, that stuff is expensive.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It's weird. The VHS thing I've noticed only horror fans collect VHS. Like you don't see anyone that's kind of like, you know what I got today is fucking Ernest Goes Fishing on VHS. It's awesome. I love it.
No.
Like it's just not a thing. But there's something about horror that like makes you want that grainy look and shit.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say
it.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. You get that grainy feel again.
Mm-hmm. Some movies just look better on VHS than they do in higher definition.
But a VHS player is like $250 nowadays, unless you get lucky and find one somewhere.
I mean, if you go to like a fucking thrift store or some shit, you can find it for $10. Like Goodwill, you can get a VHS player.
I haven't checked those places yet, okay?
Yeah, you really should. Literally, they're like $10, barely an inconvenience.
Okay, now see that I can do. All right. So, what part of your body would you replace with an improved mechanical version?
My dick, for sure.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah,
I
like
should have known.
Yeah, like if I can get a dick that self pumps, you know, while I'm doing stuff at the hips.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna
Who's
leave
better
that
than
question.
Who's better than me?
That was too easy. All right.
I can fucking turn up the fucking shit so that way it's like a bullet.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Or you could turn it down so that way it's that nice slow, like fucking, you know.
Okay. That I shouldn't have even asked that. I should have known. I mean, this is you. So all right.
People say that to me. I don't ever really know what it means.
It means you're crazy, period. But you know, we all know that. So it's okay.
I accept it. I accept it.
And we accept you for who you are. So all right. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family and friends automatically assume you had done?
God, probably gotten into a fight. I come off really like chill and shit, but like I actually have kind of a hair trigger. Like fucking when something I think is like wrong or like dumb or something, I'm very quick to be like, that's fucking wrong. Like it's very easy for me to go from like fucking, oh dude, nah, you're insane, to like, I want to rip your fucking face off. I hate you so goddamn much. And like, I don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't seem to matter what I say to people. I could think I'm tapering back, but like the way I say things to people in anger, it comes off very volatile. And it like makes people like fucking on the offense, and then they start to like step up, and then I'm not gonna back down. So then I step up. Next thing you know, I got scars on my hands. You know,
That's not good. You
yeah.
shouldn't
I
do
mean,
stuff like that.
yeah, I'm gonna be 32. It's really like calmed down, but like throughout my 20s, especially in my teens, like fucking very very scrappy kid.
I can see it. I can see that. All right, I have one last question for you.
I'm ready. I'm here for it.
All right.
These
now you got to
questions
think
are
about
great, by
this.
the way.
You got to think about this one, though. You got to kind of plan it out. It's similar to a question that you asked in an interview that you did on your channel, but it's different at the same time. So,
okay.
You got to think about this. Just go with it. All right. How many chickens do you believe it would take to kill an elephant?
Oof.
And how would you use them? I mean, you got to plan this out. You got to tell me like your strategy.
Like, how am I gonna kill it? All right. Since I'm down to kill an elephant, I assume I don't care about killing chickens. So
makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the chickens are probably gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If that's the case, here's what I'm gonna do. Elephant is here, and I got, let's see, one chicken is about that big. I gotta do math here.
You can use baby chicks too.
All right, I could probably fit like 11 chickens in a row right here. So now 11. Okay, and then going up would be, because I want to fill this room with chickens. You know, like that's that's my first thought here. Yeah. Okay, that's what I would do. So I'm gonna say I need about 9,000 chickens. All right.
That's a lot of chickens.
It's a lot of chickens. I'm gonna bring an elephant into this room, and then I'm going to fill the room with chickens until the elephant suffocates to death.
Wow. That's a brutal way to do it.
Well, you know, it's got to be done.
But that's a lot of chickens. I mean, couldn't you just like take a couple and like stuff them in the nostrils?
I mean,
and then stuff some in the mouth?
That there's no work ethic there. Filling a room with like look at what I've done here. I've number one gotten an elephant to go upstairs, which I hear is very hard.
Yes.
I've gotten him in this room, which door frames are going to be an issue, but I've done it. On
That's
top
true.
of that, I've gained massive access to a litany of chickens. Like I receive chickens with impunity. Like you know, and then I use those chickens to fucking cut out the air in the room.
Okay. All right. That's a lot of effort. So I'm gonna give you that one.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, look, dude, seriously, this was a lot of fun, and thank you for coming on my channel.
Oh, thank you for fucking having me. This was cool.
Absolutely.
I love talking about killing elephants and fucking.
All right. Thank you again, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Fucking for sure.
Later. All right, guys, there you have it. Michael Pinero, our very own video creep, in a one-on-one interview. And guys, seriously, this was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I had a blast. And you know what? Like my channel, subscribe, like the video, please. Show some love. I'll have all the links to follow him, all of my links down in the description below. And thank you so much for coming by. Have a great night.